Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stating the Obvious. In this episode, we're going to cover a number of topics that I'm unsure of as of this moment. Normally we have a list, and we do have a list for this episode, but I have a feeling it's not going to go the way we want. Pranay, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I for sure do not think we will reach the end of our list.
Good thoughts.
But did you have it? Did you have any thoughts like open the podcast? Maybe it's written down on a list that somewhere.
Perhaps with the number 2 next to it.
Ranking Jits.
Why did I didn't want to ask you to do it, man. But I did.
Very good.
And I can't believe I had to ask Pranay. Because, you would expect I asked Noah, our resident Japanese South Korean. Instead, I'm asking a Telugu man.
Look, man, for all intents and purposes, I'm basically white. Like, let's be real.
No, you like ramen, right?
White people like ramen too.
No, I've seen you eat sushi with
No,
chopsticks.
your skin is yellow.
Yeah, that's fair. The only like culture I possess is my ability to eat food with chopsticks. That's about it.
Can you cook? Can you cook any cultural foods?
I mean, I can cook up a stir fry, but like I don't know, like I'm not out here like catching fish with my bare hands and making sushi.
I don't know if all the Japanese do this.
No, this is like 100% how they do it.
It's true. Noah's been to Japan. You've seen it.
He is
Have you been to
Japanese,
Japan?
I guess.
I have not been to Japan.
Yeah, what the hell, Cobb?
I just assumed, I guess.
Cobb is spreading misinformation.
This is how racism starts, Cobb.
We're just making false assumptions of people based on very little to no evidence.
Some might call that racism.
Well, that was a good intro. Should we move on to the number 3 thing? Oh my god, no. We need to do the obvious facts because we are stating the obvious.
Viswa,
Yeah.
as our host, you almost fumbled it.
Yeah.
But that's Noah. That's the beauty of it. Is I like to keep our listeners on their toes. Will we be doing our regular scheduled intro at the very beginning? Will we have some chatter and then move into it? Or will we skip it entirely? You may never know. And that's what makes the podcast so engaging. That's why most of our listeners listen for at least the first few minutes before they leave.
It's true. Everybody's waiting for the obvious fact.
They are. Noah, they are.
I mean, this is what our podcast is known for, stating the obvious.
It is.
Is it no?
With that being said, Noah, you have something obvious to state for us.
My obvious fact is that you will never meet the people who made everything you own. And this is very unusual, historically speaking. Like, you look around your room, and if it's not like, I don't know, like a piece of artwork that you made yourself or something like that, like everything you're surrounded by, like clothes, furniture, like the house you live in, you probably will never see or speak to the people that made those things. And this is very weird, right?
I mean, most of the things that are, I utilize on a daily basis probably aren't even made by people in the country. It probably isn't even made by adults. It's probably
This
made
is
by
very
children.
weird. Like, if you go back in time, right, like 200 years, and you find like your average person just like in some village, and you ask them to like point to a thing and ask them like who made it, they will be able to tell you, right? Like village blacksmith, like the carpenter, like whoever, like maybe they made it with their own 2 hands. Like the vast majority of human history, like human existence, you know who made the things that you own. Like the clothes on your back, like the
What
tools
about the
you
food
use.
and the spices back in the
Yeah,
British
I feel like a lot
times?
of like the raw materials or something like trade was still a thing even like 200 years ago.
I
right?
won't deny that. I won't deny that like trade is still a thing, right? But like, I'm speaking about like the plow you use or like the
I
hat
get what
you're
you're
wearing.
saying. I get what
Like,
you're saying. But like even if like the raw materials were sourced, I don't know, from the Netherlands or something, and the local carpenter is the one who made it, like I'm still saying that he made it. I'm not saying like whatever the Dutch guy that harvested the materials is the one that made it.
Yeah, but like what I'm trying to get at, right, is that like we're surrounded by a world where like everything that builds up the world is made by strangers, and that is very unusual.
Yeah, I mean, even I don't even think that applies just to like international goods or whatever. Like the people who build and maintain the roads and stuff like that we drive on every day. Even if they like live in the city, I couldn't point to them and say like, oh, these are the guys that do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like it's a fact that like doesn't get spoken of enough because I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to imagine like a world that is different, but like you imagine what it must have been like for somebody living in any previous generation, right? Where like you can like look around you and like this is like a world that like you know on like a fundamental level, right? Like the houses you're surrounded by, like the tools and like the clothes and like the whatever like in your hands, like on your body, like they're made by like family, friends, people like or like your ancestors that like you have direct ties to. This is no longer the case. Our entire world is made up by strangers.
Well, you know what they say, Noah. Every stranger is a potential friend. So maybe you could just have a bunch of friends instead.
Maybe
Possible.
we should go on a trip, find these people, the people who
We
build
should just go on a trip ourselves, bro. Like we haven't even done just that. We're going on a trip to find what the hell. We haven't even taken one trip anywhere as a group. Like
What about a ranking goods trip?
ranking soul. Sorry.
I gotta say, whenever PJ says it, he puts so much emphasis on it. He puts so much passion into it. I don't know how he does it.
What? I'm the one who just put.
I know. I'm just saying. I've heard PJ do very passionate. I will say the JJK stuff Jith does better.
Yo, sorry. Somebody else take over right now, please. Fucking just call up, say something obvious. Pranay, do it. You guys pick. I don't care.
Okay, I will go. Actually, I accidentally leaked this one to Cobb before you guys came. But my obvious fact is, it feels very the discrepancy between a pond and a lake feels pretty arbitrary to me.
Lakes are pretty fucking big.
Yeah, I mean, I did some research about this. I think federally, there's no official definition. Within states, they have like a list of things that characteristics that lakes could have, but it may not necessarily, it's not like a strict definition like, oh, if it has these 3 things, then it's a lake. It's just like, these are characteristics that lakes could have. In one state, they could have these things. In another state, they could have these things. But it's more so up to just like mass consensus that this is a lake and this is a pond.
I guess would size be like the primary factor? Because whenever I think of a pond,
actually no, there's an interesting thing. Yeah. I mean, like for example, do you think Russell Creek Lake or do you think Russell Creek Pond?
Pond, 100%.
Pond. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think pond too. But interestingly enough, the some of the characteristics are like area size, but then there's also like depth size. There's also like the temperature it drops during the winter or something like that. There's also like what is the type of life that lives in it, like if there's just like frogs and tadpole, or if there's like larger fish and other things. So that, I mean, there's a lot of different things, and even that last one, apparently that's an important one usually, but. Like that doesn't seem very specific to me.
Okay, PJ, you've done a lot of research on this, so I will have you be the judge of it. If you have a body of water about the size of like Russell Creek, right, which you said you considered a pond.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a body of water about that size, but it's like omega deep. Does it become a lake?
See, I mean, I feel like at a certain point it does.
So, like, even if I have like just a 1 centimeter diameter body of water, but it's like so incredibly deep, it becomes a lake.
That to me is just a hole, I think.
All right, so then how big does it got to be? Just big enough for me to step in it, or?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, man. Like these things are arbitrary. It's just up to just general consensus. It seems
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's truth to it, but there's also just like lakes are very big, ponds are not so big. and then we're just like we go with that.
Yeah, but I figure like some organization would make a
Yeah, that's
definition.
what I thought too. There would be some official definition. Like the diameter has to be like above X number of feet, and like the depth has to be above like X number of feet too.
I mean, there's just so many bodies of water in the world, and then it just becomes this like semantic thing, and it'll piss some people off because they'll be like, "Oh, this should be a lake. This should not be a pond. Or this should be a pond. This should not be a lake." And it's just like, why? Like, none of this is necessary. Just believe what you want to believe.
That's probably the reason why it's not official.
Here's the Omega question for you, PJ.
Yeah.
Like the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea and stuff like that. Should they be seas? Should they be lakes? Should they be
Oh yeah,
oceans?
this is another thing too. Like, if those things are they bigger than like Lake Superior?
I don't know.
I believe so, yes.
And it's also another thing. Like, does bigger mean diameter, or does bigger mean depth, or does bigger mean like how much life is
I
living in
think
it?
it's less
Or
to do with
volume of the
size and
water?
more to do with salt water versus fresh water.
But I mean, you have saltwater lakes, right?
I guess so. I mean, do you?
Yeah, the Salt Lake.
Yeah, Salt Lake City is.
Salt Lake
yeah.
City
The
is
Salt
around
Lake.
the Salt
True.
Lake.
Yeah. What if it's just like not salty? It's like Greenland.
Greenland.
Yeah, I guess they could be doing the obscure mix-up with their name.
I mean, they're Mormons. You never know.
There are a number of places that have honestly like deceiving names.
Oh, I think I actually searched this up a long time ago. Like, by surface area, Caspian Sea is the largest, but actually, like, by like volume, I think Superior is pretty up there. Actually.
Yeah, I think maybe by volume it might be the biggest. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, Cobb, give us another obvious fact, please.
My fact is it's nice and simple. It doesn't require all this big long explanation. But when you're differentiating between animals that are venomous and animals that are poisonous, if it bites you and you die, it is venomous. If you bite it and you die, it is poisonous.
Does that make every animal poisonous? Because, like, you know, we've, I mean, everyone except for this was eating meat, and we're all gonna die at some point.
Hmm.
So I'm immortal?
I mean,
I feel like Jith has consumed
maybe.
meat at some point in his life
Or
accidentally.
the vegetables are also poisonous.
oh, true. Everything's poisonous if you think about it.
That's what she said.
I don't get it.
Dude, nobody was saying anything, man. Like, what am I supposed to do? Genuinely, y'all are sitting here like complete bots. Like, I had to say something.
I don't know. Like, you.
We're recording a
How does
podcast.
like, okay, don't blame me. This is like on like Viswa, Pranay, and Jacob. Like, this is all three of you, not me. I just spoke.
Okay, that's why I followed it up, but none of you guys were happy with my follow up. Maybe I should have picked something else, like ranking widget.
I mean, you
I've been
probably
happy
could
with
have.
that.
Pranay would have.
I would have been happy with that. That would be a good one.
Why didn't you say that?
I was waiting for you to say it, Jith.
Can someone explain to me what this words mean?
Okay, Pranay, do you want to go or should I go?
I will say my first line. Recently, Jith started watching the anime Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. After he told me that he was rewatching it, I was just like, I've only watched this show once. I'm gonna rewatch it. And ranking Jits itself, at least in the context of the show, I don't know if it's used differently.
Wait, no, you missed part of the story.
Oh, what?
Is that when Pranay and I were discussing Full Metal Alchemist, we were sitting next to each other in the car, and I was like, Pranay, I've been watching this, and he's like, oh yeah, that's very good. And I was like, I really like the way that they say the word alchemist in the show. And Pranay had a few guesses. It was like he's like alchemist or something like some.
Some
That's what he
racist
thought it
things,
was.
basically.
And I looked at
Literally
Pranay
just
and
the word alchemist, but in a Japanese accent.
Hey, sometimes it's like that, bro.
I guess, yeah. So Pranay was just guessing like stuff like that, and I looked at him dead in the eyes, and I was like, ranking jutsu. And then he was like, oh my god, yeah, he was like geeked. He's like, I love how they say that too. Let me go rewatch this. And now he's almost caught up to me and like the I don't even like we're like 3/4 of the way. I was 3/4 of the way through the show, and in like 3 days he's caught up to me. So, but essentially it means alchemist, Cobb. It's not
okay.
alchemisto. It's ranking.
Nice.
Is it just alchemist or is that Full Metal Alchemist, Renee? I think
No, that's alchemist.
what is Full Metal Alchemist?
They say like what they say some adjective before. I forget what
Yeah,
it
they
is.
say something before, but I can't remember what it is.
Is there like different tiers of alchemy that they achieve?
No, that's just like they just assign different adjectives for like one
Each alchemist.
Yeah, this guy just likes to do metal alchemy.
Ah, okay.
Some other guys like to do like stone or fire alchemy, for example.
Mustang.
Yeah, Roy Mustang.
Mustango. Roya Mustango.
Yeah.
Noah, chime in here. No.
Oh my god. Like, I don't ask you guys to like throw like random like Hindi words at me, alright? Like let me live.
I don't think any of us even speak Hindi.
I could.
You know, one thing that I find like pretty interesting, or else I guess just about the anime space in general, is like you can find an anime show about just about any topic. Like if you told me
Yeah,
alchemy,
that's true.
you know, I wouldn't suspect that to be like the topic of like some major show, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can find
Fair.
a top like an anime about anything.
I think like sports anime has been like slowly expanding. Like, you know, there was like Haikyuu, which was like volleyball, and like there's like
Blue
soccer
Lock.
and basketball. I'm just
What
waiting
is
for
the
them.
soccer one, Noah?
Okay, you know,
What is it called, Noah?
it's called Blue Lock. I
No,
know.
but say it. Say
Yeah,
it.
say
Say
it,
it in a
Noah.
way.
No,
Say it.
god damn.
Blue Loco.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Say it, Noah. Say it.
Blue Loco.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so good, bro. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We just needed the Japanese.
It's so good.
Is there a golf anime?
I don't know.
Oh, there for sure is.
Dude, I don't think I'd
There probably
survive
is.
if Noah did that twice, bro. Holy god.
Yeah, it's a
that
good thing I
actually,
didn't
like,
do it twice.
that was like a full body experience.
What
For me.
the fuck?
That-
Dude, that's weird. You're weird for that.
Shut up. Did I ask? Shut up.
God, I just searched up golf anime and I found like 10. So
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just searched up. I just searched up Jacob Mammon anime, and I found one.
I'm sure. I'm
For real?
sure.
Yeah, it's about Jacob.
It's true.
Oh shit. What's the
yeah, I
anime
see
called?
an Indian guy.
Jacob
Moment.
Is that like a
Jits.
thing? Like just like I feel like all the animes I've ever seen, they're like set in Japan. Like, do they have animes just like set in all these locations, like in that style?
There's one
Solo
set
Leveling.
in South Korea,
South
known
Korea.
as Solo Leveling.
Oh.
My go to Jinwoo.
I mean, there's some in like made up places, like not in the world.
Yeah, like Full Metal Alchemist is one of those where it's just like made up place.
I mean, like most American shows are set in America or
yeah,
the fantasy
that's fair.
world.
Yeah,
You have a what's it called? Vinland Saga, Pranay. That's set in like Nordic country, Nordic
Yeah,
land
in the past.
in the past.
yeah. The only anime I've ever like truly watched was Beyblade.
Beyblade.
Also, the
Let it
Roman
rip.
Wrath anime.
Ah, yes,
Is it
the
Rome?
Roman Bath anime. It's on
Yes.
Netflix.
It's very
Roman
nice.
pretty
Bath
decent.
anime.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it, but it was pretty good for how long
Oh
I
yeah,
did
there
watch
you
it.
go, Cobb. An example of there's an anime about Roman bathhouses.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's
Genuine.
actually low key one of my favorite anime.
Okay, shut up. What about Blue Lock?
I mean, it's there, but like Roman bath one, that one's like peak comedy.
Well, can you imagine, PJ? You still play soccer, right? You still play games on a team,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Do you ever envision the Blue Lock stuff when you're out there?
Dude, how do you think he even got
and-
good at
yeah,
soccer?
how do you think I have my like progression over the past year I dedicate solely to Blue Lock. Solely. And I've progressed a lot over the past year.
How does that work? You just envision yourself as these characters, or like you take their skills, or like what?
No, it was actually I think it was just more it like motivated me to think more analytically about the game. That and it just gave me more confidence and like ego.
Ego?
Egoista.
Egoista. Isaki Yoichi.
Dude, I can never look at the word ego like I can whenever I read it in a paper or anything like that. I can never look at it the same. All I hear is just the voice in my head whenever that word comes up.
I told you it happens.
That's what the entire show is about. It's about developing their egos.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes it's like weirdly sexual. I don't know if you've seen season 1 or 2, but like they'll just be
it
like,
is.
like you fit that goal in such a tight spot. And it's just like they'll say it like that too. So you're just like you feel like you're interrupting something.
I mean, nothing sexual about a bunch of sweaty men playing with their balls.
Accurate. But yeah, no, like it's so good. It's so peak. They're just like, I'm an egoist, and we're like, we're all egoists.
All right, I guess this question is for Jit and PJ. If you had to pick your favorite anime at the moment, what is it?
It's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Actually, you know, at the moment, it's maybe Solo Leveling, just because that shit is so peak, bro. It's like
I never knew I would like
it's
an
nothing
anime
special,
that just Aura
plot
farms.
wise, development wise. Like, you know,
Nothing.
it goes and it happens, and it's nothing like that really makes you think about life.
Yeah, nothing.
But you watch that shit and you're like, oh my god, this guy is like just fucking like God. It's just aura. It's just you watch this guy aura farm a whole season, and it's perfect. And I think maybe I said this before in the last episode. I don't even know.
BJ?
Hunter x Hunter or JJK, perhaps.
Are you currently watching those, Brandon?
No, I'm not watching either of them right now.
JJK, really?
Yeah, man. I mean, the animation, the
It's
story.
good. It's good. It's
There's
good. Don't
something
get me
called
wrong.
Blue
Good
Eyes.
plot.
There's something that's like not conventionally considered an anime. It's called Blue Eye Samurai. It was on Netflix.
Oh,
Although
yes,
I mean,
I've
I
heard
guess
about
it
this.
is. It is an anime for all intents and purposes. That one was really good too. Holy! I did not expect it at all.
You know what I like about JJK? No, have you seen the first season of JJK, right?
Yeah. I think saw the first season. I think I started on the second season. I can't quite remember.
Okay, so one thing, maybe you'll remember this scene, but one thing I like about JJK is that there's no like power of friendship, random level up bullshit that you get when you're fighting someone who's stronger than you. Like, if someone fights someone who's stronger than them in JJK, you just fucking die. Like, you lose and you die.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, there's no secret like, let me unlock my 7th form that just comes out of nowhere and you're just all of a sudden able to like beat the big bad. Like, if they're stronger than you die, and if you're stronger than them, like, you kill them, and there's just no in between. And there's this one scene where I think Inumaki, maybe not Megumi, maybe Megumi and like Kamo or whatever, like some Hanami or whatever, like the big like bad cursed tree, like is just like running at them. I think it's some whatever, some like curse that outlevels them, outranks them by like a bunch, and all three of them just fucking book it. There's a whole scene of them just running away,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that because I'm tired of just seeing them like turn around, like unlock the power of friendship and win.
I mean, there was like that like power friendship between
It's just there's so many good things. It's hard to choose, man. It's hard.
fuck, what was that guy's name? You know, the guy who could like clap and like teleport.
Todo.
Todo.
I mean, I would
Todo
call that power
Ioi.
friendship.
That is kind of power
Yeah,
friendship.
that's just his character, man.
But that's just his character.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
he-
connected over being like two head asses. Like, I think they like same wavelength.
What kind of girl is your type, Noah?
I can't remember what he said. It was like something like with like a tall girl with a fat ass or some shit.
Literally,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
that
what
is the
he said.
correct answer.
I don't know if you ever watched this, but Freerin, I think it's called Soso no Freerin. I think you would like that a lot, Noah. I like it a lot too. But I mean, there are a lot of things that I like, you know, from the animation style to the music. The two things that like draw me to it just visually and emotionally is animation style and music. But Soso no Freerin. But I happen to also like really like I do like the normal shonen stuff where there's, you know, the classic character arcs, but I like the ones that diverge a little bit, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, for example.
Yeah.
That one also, like, it's not a conventional thing where the main character like goes around, he like levels up and becomes like super OP. He stays pretty much the same power level the entire time, you know? But you just are so invested in the other characters and all the mystery of everything that it's still such a good show.
Yeah, Brene put that pretty well. I mean, that's why that show is so good. He also doesn't unlock any like random power-ups. But like Demon Slayer is the kind of show where like they just like randomly are just like,
They
you know,
just
like,
unlock.
fuck it, I'm balling.
Yeah.
And then they start balling. But I will say, even though it is like that, the other half of Demon Slayer is some of the like most beautiful animation you'll ever see in your fucking life. As well as like a pretty good score and like music throughout.
Mm.
So like it comes with its pros and cons, but like I think just watching it to appreciate the animation is so worth it because the animation is just unreal. And the movie's coming out September 12th in the United States. It's coming out in like July or something in Japan. I was low-key like, I need to fly to Japan to see this movie. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I need to finish watching Demon Slayer.
How far? Wait, you started Demon Slayer at all?
Yeah, I got a pretty decent way through it.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying with the animation style,
yeah,
right?
no,
Like
it's pretty fucking good.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah, I mean, I will say, like, it's not like anything groundbreaking. It's just like it's a traditional anime done really well.
yeah, like really, really well. So I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to it. You know, my mom watches Demon Slayer.
That's pretty
really.
funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, one day I was just like, I want to watch it, and then I was like, you know what? I think when I was a kid, my mom would like sit down and watch Beyblade with me just because, like, I was a kid, so she'd just be there to hang out with her kid, I
Genes
guess.
unlocked.
But then, like, I showed her Demon Slayer, and she was like, she's kind of hooked. She's like, this is pretty good. And so now she's watched all of Demon Slayer all the way up until
That's
like
really
Hashira Training.
funny.
She's like, when is the movie coming out? And then I'm probably gonna go see it in theaters with my mom.
You know what that says to me? That says that like you probably could go like back in time, like a 500 years, like pull out one of your ancestors from India and like sit them down in front of Demon Slayers and then be like, oh shit, this is really cool. Like there's just like something timeless.
About a good story, I feel like, yeah, transcends time, transcends.
Do you guys watch like all the animes you watch? Do you watch them dubbed or like with English voice acting?
I watch them subbed mostly. I try to not watch
I
things
think
dubbed.
subbed mostly. The only ones I watched dubbed are Cyberpunk and like Beyblade and Dragon Ball, and I think that's about it.
So like the mainstream ones that like
The mainstream
That's
ones, generally, you want to watch them sub, just because the original voice actors do so much, like,
Yeah.
for the characters, and like they really
I'm just gonna
showcase.
Just gonna plug like this one dub. There's like this anime called Ghost Stories. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys about it before, but it is like the funniest dub I've ever seen. Like the voice actors don't even try to stay on script. They're just out there like ad-libbing and making shit up. And like it's the funniest shit. Like it's basically a parody. Like except if you want to watch it, like it's not like its own thing. You just go to the anime and change from sub to dubbed, and it's a completely different show.
I like that.
Maybe
I think that's a cool
I will
idea.
see what it's about.
Oh my, it's so funny, dude. Like basically like it's like one of those like kids in school like solving ghost stories things. Or like solving like spirit possessions or whatever. But apparently like when it came out in Japan, it just did so poorly that when they handed it over to like the American like dub company, they're like, this thing's trash. Like we don't give a shit what you do to it. So they're like, all right, that just like basically wrote their own script for it that like is just completely off the rails.
is it better than the original?
Oh, 100% better. Like 100%.
Really? Okay, interesting.
Okay, add it to the list. No, I'll add it to the list. All right, should we do something aside from talk about anime? I feel like we should.
Probably
We're already
should.
so like I at least predicted correctly at the beginning of this episode that there is no way we're sticking to whatever we wrote down here. But you know what? We can try. So I think it's worth a shot, because the next thing to talk about is actually something we all did together in person with the Power of Friendship transition.
Ooh, leveled up.
Yep. Does anyone want to take the lead on explaining what the hell this is, or should I?
You got it, Jip.
Oh my god! All right. So we went to this place called Activate Games. Okay, if they're listening to this, sponsor us. But we went to this place called Activate Games. Essentially, you get like a little wristband thing. You walk into this room. It's like, it's not necessarily a room. It's kind of like this area with a bunch of doors to all these different rooms, and behind each of these doors is like different games. And you just scan your wristband with like your group of, I think, up to 7 maybe people or 6, and then you can go inside the room and then participate in whatever game it is. A lot of times it's some kind of like physical game, or it's like you got to press some buttons, or you got to like throw some balls, or like pull some ropes, or like jump over some lasers or something like that. So it's like a physical activity.
Yeah, and all the games are like cooperative or like team building for the most part. Like it requires you to work together with the people in the room to like achieve whatever goal. Like it's pretty impossible for one person to do it.
Yeah. So that is the whole shebang. You pay for it, you get to be like an hour in the space, and then you can go to whichever rooms you want to. You can go to the same room over and over again, or you can try out different ones. But it's pretty fun. And I don't know, I think we all had a good time. Noah normally hates it.
I mean,
But-
I was still out of shape, but yeah, I think.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, no, I had fun both times. It was just like the first time. I think we just did like a bunch of like really physical games that like you had to like run and jump and shit, and I was like fucking dying. I mean, this time we spent a good amount of time in like those ones where like you're just like throwing balls at things or like trying to like shoot the basketball in the hoop, which is easier on me.
The previous time we went, we did a lot of like the one where like the floor, you have to like jump on all the different squares and press the buttons on the wall. Forgot the name of that one.
Yeah, the
but this time we
grid.
did a lot of like hoops. We did a lot of like the strike. We did hide a lot, but like we didn't do the ones that were like full body exercises as much.
I mean, they had more options of those this time around. They didn't have that last time we went.
But I all I'll say is the dumbest one. I don't actually. It's not that dumb because it gives you a little bit of a break. But the one where you just have to like pick the number. That could literally just be like
the
a mobile
trivia
app.
one. The trivia.
Yeah,
Oh,
the trivia
yeah.
one.
Oh
Yeah, the
yeah,
trivia
that
one.
was that one was stupid.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
Out of all the games, what did you guys like the best?
I like the laser.
I mean, we were cooking on that one where you were like strike, where you're like throwing your like the balls
Oh
at
yeah,
like the
throwing the
targets.
balls. Like
I like
dude,
ball
Purdue would just
barrage.
Purdue would just hoard all the balls. And if you don't know, like as you level up and progress through the difficulties, there's targets that you have to hit, and there's targets that you shouldn't hit. They're like red, and they're like count against you and like take away your lives. And so Purdue, he would just grab up like all of these balls and just like a shotgun throw it at the wall and just be like ball barrage. And just hit everything. And then meanwhile, me and Noah were like recycling the same 4 balls over and over and over because we had nothing. We were
Hey,
so
whose side?
impoverished.
Whose side? Jith and my side was popping. We were doing good.
You took all
You
the balls.
you guys.
Wait, yo, you're not telling the full story here.
It's a full story.
Okay. Why do you think we had all the balls?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Pernay was holding them so he could do the bola barrage. He wasn't throwing them out. He wasn't redistributing the balls.
Okay, let's do a little thinking here. All right? If you two had to say, which out of the 5 of us, Puck was also here for context, which out of the 5 of us scored the most points? You can pick top 2 people. I'll just say top 2 people. Who do you think those top 2 people
Okay,
were?
this way. Pernay wasn't even throwing the balls half the time. I looked at him. He had a huge pile of balls that he was holding on to so he could ball barrage them at the same time.
And even if you guys score, first off, it doesn't tell you who individually scored more, but even if you scored more, maybe the reason was because you guys could actually keep on throwing. We had to wait for our balls to come rolling back down the hill before we could rethrow them
That
again.
sounds like a you problem.
Honestly, skill issue. Like,
See,
Yeah.
this
We're
is-
supposed to be
this is
working.
the
This is a
problem.
team building exercise.
Man,
To me, it was a ball barrage exercise.
he's an
like
egoist.
that's the whole point.
Jithan, you spent like 30 seconds on that one hoops round. Like, what was wrong with the baskets? Like, you guys couldn't get it in, or like it was stuck or something, right?
That's what she said.
Oof.
Yes. Sorry, I finally found the correct moment to make the joke.
Nice one.
There were like 8 balls stuck in one of the hoops, and like they were all just like stacked on top of each other. So I was just like pelting it with basketballs, trying to get it out.
I see. I remember last time our strategy was Jit literally jumped into the basketball like arena and just like stood up there, and we just throw balls to him, and he would just like dunk it instantly.
Did I do that? I feel like did
Yeah.
I actually do that?
Yeah.
Pranay, no, do you recall
I do
this?
not remember this.
I
but
don't remember
it's
this.
likely.
Yeah,
I don't remember doing
100%. This was not this time. Last time,
Yeah, I know last time, but I don't remember
still
doing this
don't
last
remember
time.
doing this.
100%. I
Are you
remember this
sure?
vividly.
I mean, Cobb seems very adamant about it, so I do not.
Because this is after we tried like this level like 3 or 4 times and we could not get it. So Jith was just like, you know what, we're beating this level, and he went up there. And
How
then
did we get
beat
it
the
so
level.
easy this time?
I think we had to
wait,
restart.
what?
We had to restart hoops. We started from level 2 or level 1.
Okay, I have no idea. Well, if Cobb is so certain,
Cobb, I
I'm
think this
inclined
thing
to trust
came to
you,
you
but,
in a
like, dude, I
dream,
don't
dog. I
remember.
don't remember this.
No, I
Yeah,
am
like-
100% certain.
okay, buddy. I swear I don't remember this. I feel like at least I would remember, right? Like me being
Yeah, I
the
mean,
person who has.
this would be the kind of
I
person to like take
vividly
all the
remember this.
credit. He would be like, "You guys like couldn't do shit without me. Like, look at
I
me, like
did.
I'm
At the
dunking all the
time, he
balls."
definitely did.
No,
Yes, yes,
but no.
but yes.
Cobb, we'll just agree to disagree, okay?
Maybe
How does that sound?
maybe when we all
Okay.
die, they'll like give us like a replay function for our lives, and we'll be able to go back and take a look.
Yeah, then we'll go back through.
That'd be
and determine.
pretty good, yeah.
Play of the game.
If there was a replay function when you die, let's say you die right now and you get a replay function, what moment are you replaying first?
When we won the Iron Man.
Yes. Yosh.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't fucking know, man. I would be very interested to see like if they did like a play of the game for my life. Like what's the clip you put up?
If they didn't play the game for your life, it'd be so sad if it was just like you sitting there on your computer doing work or something like that. It'd be so depressing.
Oh man, that would make me want to kill myself all over again.
I wonder what play the game is. I mean, it has to be. This is too much thinking, bro. We're going to the next topic. Okay, basically, the Iron Man that Noah was talking about was after we went to this place called Activate Games. Please sponsor us. We went and got dinner at another place called El Queso. We went there a lot in high school. It's a Mexican place. Please sponsor us. And we had some Mexican food. Very, very good. Yummy stuff. And then we played an Iron Man, which is basically in Super Smash Bros. You start from the top and then the bottom.
It's a
It's a
2v2. It's a 2v2.
So one person starts at the top, one person starts at the bottom in one team, same thing on the other team, and then you just keep moving inwards, and whichever and it's one stock. So whoever if you die, you just move on to the next character, and then whichever team reaches each other first loses.
And I swear we never like finished an Iron Man before.
Yeah, we generally haven't, because here's what will happen is Noah and I will get a massive lead. Like Pranay and Cobb will be approaching each other very rapidly, and then they'll just be like, "We're done. We're gonna lose this." They'll forfeit it. But this time, we had the new DLC characters that I was unfamiliar with. They put me on the side I guess I didn't want to be, and then I had to skip 2 every time I died instead of just 1. And the reason for all this is because I'm OP as shit at this game. After doing all of that to nerf the fuck out of me, they almost won. They were like close-ish, but we still had some leeway. Like we still had like 5-6 characters left, maybe 4. But still, plenty of room. Nothing to sweat really. After I got Diddy Kong
was not the problem. It was just Little Mac. Literally, without Little Mac, we win that.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you guys kept losing to Little Mac, I think that's genuinely a skill issue. Like
Little Mac.
No, do it in Japanese accent.
Little Mako.
Destruction upon your soul. Literal destruction upon your entire life. Yeah, but Renee killed me with 1 counter later. So, like, it genuinely was just you guys.
I had a few pop-off characters. I had Ike. My Ike was a big problem.
Yeah, like, he just countered once when I punched him as Little Mac, and, like, I instantly died. Like,
He just
there
died.
is no reason why that could not have happened earlier, aside from the fact that, like,
I did not have a counter
you guys are, like,
character.
just bad.
No, I don't know. Little Mac is just so hard, in 2v2, because
I mean, he's very fast, a lot of kill power.
yeah.
But, like, Cobb had Little Mac too, and he just, like, instantly died. So,
Cobb doesn't know how to use him like that well. Jit, I don't think smashed that Cobb. Like Jit, they just ran back and forth, just F tilting and side being. That's basically what his game plan was. I don't even know where
Sounds like
Yeah,
a
it
good
worked.
game plan to me.
It worked. He had one nice up B kill. That was good.
yeah, I saved that,
That was good.
your mix-up for
Yeah,
when
that
we really needed it.
that was a crazy mix up. I will give him that.
Because, fun fact, if for those of you who do play Super Smash Bros., Little Mac's up B when you're off stage, like, does not go high at all. Like, it's kind of worthless. And even if you jump in the air and up B, you're not getting a lot of height on it. But if you up B from when you're just on the ground, that shit gets some distance. So if you up B, just no jump, no other inputs, just straight up B, you will get some height, bro. Fucking
Damn. I did not know that.
LeBron James, fucking just Ja Morant type height. So Pranay was just jumping over me. He thought he was safe because I'm not the aerial character, but secretly I hit the ranking. Care to comment, Pranay?
I'm done. I mean, yeah.
You can't
I'll
comment.
give
You're
you that.
dead.
I'll
You're
give you
dead.
it.
You're gone. Anyways, this all happened. I'm just glazing myself, I feel. None of you guys stopped me, so I'm just going to keep going. But, I mean, I could do that for the rest of the podcast.
By all means, go ahead.
Nah. I'm a humble king. I want to let you guys
humble.
have your...
Yeah.
That's the
humble
word
king.
I use to describe Jith.
I want to let you guys have your chance to shine, you know. Impress the huzz, whatever you need to do. Noah Cobb.
I don't even know what Jith just said. If I'm being honest, he cut out completely for me.
You know what we have not talked about? I'm not gonna add new things to the list. Maybe we'll talk about it some later day. But today, no.
Why did you suddenly
talk
turn
about-
Indian?
Okay, and you
I'm
thought I was
just
Japanese
asking.
the whole time
I'm
or something?
asking
Colin?
why.
You thought I was
Yeah, you
Japanese
could be
just because I know
confused.
Rankyun Jutsu?
Could be confused. Somebody who's listening to this for the first time might be like, "Oh shit, got like
Bye, man. Bye. There's no reason.
a bunch
That's
of
true. We
Japanese
need
people."
to introduce them every time. That's true. True, you're right now.
Do you think people know the sound? Like people who don't know us, do you think they can make out who is who? After
I mean,
like
I'm
maybe
pretty
an
sure
episode.
most people can distinguish 4 voices.
I don't know. We're all brown.
Yeah, but our voices don't sound the same.
You also don't sound like you got an Indian accent most of the time.
Lot? What are you saying? Lot. It's just you got to put in V's in place of like W's.
And then W's in places of V's.
Oh
Exactly.
man, dude. Last semester, I told
Wow.
Viswa about this when it happened, but this just reminded me. I had like a cybersecurity class, and my professor was Russian. He had like a really thick Russian accent.
Ooh, sure.
So I couldn't understand what he was saying like half of the time. And like half of my class was made up of like Indian like guys who like came here from India, right, to like get their masters. And so there's this one point where like the professor's asking a question. I don't know what he asked. And this like Indian guy like raises his hand and gets called on and answers in a really thick Indian accent. And I don't know what he said. And like the Russian, like my professor starts like answering him, and I'm pretty sure the professor didn't know what he said either, because like the Indian guy was like shaking his head and saying other shit, and they were both just like going back and forth, and like I couldn't understand either of them. They couldn't understand each other. Like I don't know what the fuck was happening.
No, this seems like your future role in political science.
This is why we need to go back to a time before international travel.
I feel like a universal translator should be a thing.
Yeah, maybe like AI translation.
It's Noah.
Right.
True.
He is the universal translator.
I don't know. I feel like it's not easy, but I feel like it's such an applicable thing. It's such a practical thing that would have been like one of the first AI things.
Viswa, make it.
Yes. I'll make it now.
Very good.
Make it. I actually just started working on it as Carl was saying that. Like that's why I was saying anything. I immediately opened VS Code. And
Yeah,
it's getting to work.
he's opened the Git repo. He was like,
Yeah, it's the repo's
Get
already
made.
created. I mean, it is. It took 2 seconds, right? I just finished actually.
Coding
It's
prodigy.
done.
Is that
Yeah,
what most of
it's,
ComSci is? Just like taking other people's stuff and like rehashing it?
Well, you're not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Like I could rewrite all the code to build like my very basic Flutter app from scratch, but like why wouldn't I just build on top of what's already there, build on top of like knowledge that exists? And then I should still learn, all the components, and you will, because you're going to have to change all of them, but that doesn't mean you have to start from zero.
Oh, that's fair.
Like if every time someone built a car, they were like, how do we build wheels or like tires or like,
That's fair.
the
I
chassis.
guess I meant more from like a big picture perspective. Like, does each company build up their infrastructure from the bottom up, or do they like take from other companies?
depends. A lot of companies have vendors that they work with. They'll do like a POC, which is, proof of concept. And then they'll work with that vendor to accomplish something for the company, whether it's like to handle data or like authentication or something like that. Or sometimes they'll build it in-house, right? Like a lot of companies will use either GitHub or like Azure DevOps for all their DevOps. But then like Amazon, for instance, has their own version of GitHub basically that's built in-house. So that's what Amazon uses. They don't use GitHub or anything like that. And so depending on a lot of things like the size of the company, how much money they have, where they can allocate resources, they either build stuff like on-prem, or they just outsource it basically. either to other companies or to literally India. So
You know what's crazy? I think Microsoft owns both GitHub and Azure.
I think you're right. Yes. Azure DevOps I actually like more than GitHub. I used to like GitHub more, but I never really used Azure DevOps in like a work setting. I'd only have used like GitHub. So now after starting my job using Azure DevOps, I like it so much more.
All right, Microsoft sponsor us.
Yeah, you know what's odd is that we haven't really talked about CS stuff all that much on this podcast, but I feel like we should. Like we should talk about the current like being a new grad CS major right now, or just being a CS major in general, like the economy and jobs.
Computer science legit.
Yeah, computer science stuff. Yeah. I mean, I guess we all like Cobb is medicine, is just the entirety of medicine. Noah is the politicals.
Yes.
Renee is the economy. I am the technology, but we all have some exposure to coding at this point. I mean, I know Noah and Pranay for sure. Cobb, have you done like
Yeah.
coding stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely all have some exposure. I mean, I feel like nowadays you can't even have a job if you don't know coding to like some degree. I feel like so many jobs like require.
but like it's like why it's like such a limitation if you can't code.
It's a massive limitation, especially when there's so many candidates now and there's so much like oversaturation that it's so easy for a company to just replace someone who doesn't have exposure to like coding with someone who does and has all the other skills of the previous person.
Yeah.
It's so simple to do that now. And now the people who are still like cemented at some of these companies will be those people who were there when like all this like legacy code and these legacy like technologies and systems were built and used, and only they like there's some questions that people will have that literally only they will have the answer to. Like you won't be able to find it online, you won't be able to like, there's literally no way to debug it other than just that person being at the company.
And that's like a big problem for these companies, right? Like I thought a lot of them are like trying to not I guess also like update their systems, but like even if it's just one guy, like have him write down that stuff so that other employees can look at it. And like when he leaves or whatever.
From an incentive perspective, yeah, you can only get him to do something like that when he leaves, because if he does it while he's there, then there's no good reason to keep him around.
I guess, yeah.
And I feel like before, like, you know, I don't know how, like multiple decades ago, loyalty and stuff, I guess was a bit more rewarded and taken seriously if you were to stay at a company. Now I feel like if you were to just write how to do your job down like that and like all the information someone could need, a company doesn't really care if you've been there for like 5-6 decades. They'd probably just fire you.
Isn't the average like tenure of a new employee like 18 months or something now?
Is it? I mean, I completely believe that.
It's something around there. Like the recent college grads, like their average tenure for the first like 5 years of working or something is like 18 months per role.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess, I mean, people want to scale their pay, and the fastest way to do that is to just move from company to company. And 18 months is kind of enough time to at least move up a level within your own company. So you get that promotion, you get that title change. And then when you go to the next company, you can now negotiate on this new title for, you know, a newer, higher salary.
So is that the strat? Like get the higher title and then leverage that to get an even better title at a different company?
Yeah, or at least an equivalent title at a different company that'll pay more than your current company. And so if you can keep hopping like that, you'll progress faster than just staying at one company and then continually just trying to climb each level. Depends on the company though, right? Like if you're already at a big tech company, so let's say Meta, for example, you probably don't want to just keep hopping because you're kind of getting diminished returns in how much you will be like scaling your pay compared to if you just stayed and like really grinded and tried to climb the levels that way. But another interesting thing is like the metrics that these companies use to evaluate, like, you know, how effective of a worker you're being. And so it creates this very like hyper competitive grind set attitude towards work where like you basically have to work overtime and like even on the weekends if you want to just sometimes even keep your job, depending on how bad the economy is. But if you want even a chance of getting promoted, you basically have to do that at some of these companies.
See, but it's like the big tech boys, like, is that the end goal for most people?
I think it's a personal preference thing. Obviously, they're referred to as big tech because like they do have clout and they pay a lot, and you know they're good companies to work at. in theory, like good benefits and good pay. But I mean, it's really a personal preference thing. Like, what kind of industry do you want to be in, right? Do you want to be in tech, or do you want to be in, like, you know, the biotech space, right? Where you work for a company who's going to like work on things in that space. So it's a company like Epic, right? They do something at least bio medical related. So like you can either go that route, or you can go the finance route, like quant, or just like regular finance, like Goldman Sachs, that kind of thing, or yeah, like quant trading. That's another route. There's so many routes you can take it, but they also pay kind of differently. I mean, Pranay has more experience like quant stuff. Pranay, do you want to talk about that, or you have at least more like knowledge on some of that?
Yeah, I mean, the pay like scale is also different. Like, I mean, it depends on the type of firm that you're working at. But if you're at a bank, typically, like earlier in your career, you get paid less relative to other tech uh, roles, like just normal software engineer stuff. Versus, but like your upside later in your career is very high. But there are some other places where they call it like prop shops or smaller firms that are not banks. So their role is not like to give loans to and give credit cards to just the normal person, but either they trade their own stocks or they have their own specific roles in the finance industry. Those typically pay a lot from at the beginning, the middle, at the end. They pay a lot generally.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot, and then obviously your big quant firms pay like a fuck ton of money. So like people have mostly heard of like Jane Street and like other kind of companies that are in this like trading space, and you know their interns get paid $100 an hour with like a 10K signing bonus. Back when I checked, like at least probably a few years ago. I'm sure it's gone up since then.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name names, but like I had friend who, basically their internships, their last 2 years, just paid for their year of college. And this was at Carnegie Mellon, which is not an inexpensive place.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive. But their summer internships basically paid for the whole year.
So there's that aspect to it. But those are also a massive grind. It's not like they just give it to you for fun.
Yeah.
Why don't
like
they
you are always working past working hours. Like it's not just you work 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 and just log off. It's you start when the market opens and you leave when you're done, which is not when market closes, like at all. So that's what I've heard, at least from some of my friends when I asked about quant. So hey, that's another space you can go into. Gob, you probably just care about like the medical engineering space, probably, right?
I mean, that's
If you were
probably
to go, like, tech-wise.
what I would have the most interest in. Yeah, but
I saw some there's some like AI startup I heard about on Shark Tank, where it was like an AI that will do your tattoos for you.
they'll do your tattoos.
Yeah, so it got me thinking. I was like, why don't we already have like robots that can do tattoos? Because I mean, we have robots that can do so much already, right? So like,
I mean, I guess you can consider it an art form, right?
yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, we haven't had robots. I was trying to think of like reasons why robots haven't already started doing tattoos as like a commonplace thing, like why it's still a human thing.
I mean, it's probably expensive to make the kinds of robots that would be able to do that sort of thing, right?
For sure.
I mean, even if you could, I feel like there'd be a lot of public pushback because, you're displacing all like the artistry of it and you're kind of taking the human element out of it. I feel like a lot of people respect that and want that in their tattoo.
Yeah, but some people want, a really cool, complicated tattoo, but don't want to shell out like, the thousands of dollars that a tattoo like that would cost. And so they don't get those kinds of tattoos because like it's not super affordable. But like having a robot do it, yeah, you'd be still paying some kind of premium, I'm sure. But
I think you'll pay the premium in the beginning, but once this tech gets developed, it'll all be like the trend that I've seen is just you have like some good, and then like the human version, the handmade version of it is like the more luxury good type Like you
Yeah,
see
it's like
that a lot.
sweaters, like
Yeah,
the
you see a
knitted
lot with
sweaters.
that, yeah, like clothes or like food. Like the more old-fashioned version is the luxury good.
I guess, but I mean that's kind of not necessarily tattoo, but like that's already happening with like companies using AI for like ads and like web design and UX and all that kind of stuff. Like the images that they use, a lot of that stuff they just AI generate nowadays, and they don't need to pay the people to do it. Like the Coca-Cola thing and everything. Like why have people to do that when I can? And I mean, if you saw the Coca-Cola ad, it wasn't bad. Like
It just
looked
is very
solid.
obvious.
Yeah, fine. It looks like it's AI, but like, what does that matter if
Yeah.
it gets the job done?
No, I think. I mean, obviously, it's going to get better and better. I just mean more so like there's a difference. Even if a normal person cannot tell the difference between a Gucci bag and a fake and a real one, there's still a very significant price discrepancy, and I think like once the AI stuff gets good enough, there will probably be a price discrepancy between AI versus human made things.
I've been seeing a lot of like AI art at the mall, like the kinds of like posters that are being sold. Like I saw like a Gojo poster at like a store a few weeks ago, and I was like looking, I was like, oh, like this would be the kind of thing that Viswa might enjoy. But then I was like looking, I was like, it looked off, right? And I just kind of like looked at it more. I was like, oh no, it's AI. It's like 100% AI. It's just like it's small details, like it's just got that like little bit of like an uncanny valley about it, like and like it just sucks, right? Because like I'm sure if that was like an actual like human piece of art, like maybe I would have bought it, but yeah, AI, no.
You would have bought it from me, or you would have
Yeah,
just bought it in
yeah.
general?
I mean, like you mentioned like wanting that type of thing. I was like, oh yeah, like that's the kind of thing that was like asking for. But then I was like, no, yeah, no, can't do it.
Yeah, don't support that AI art stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a
That's
good friend.
wholesome.
I'm a good friend.
Wow.
You don't see it, but
The power of friendship.
Level up.
I mean,
Level
I
up?
will say like on the Coca-Cola thing, like I think whether or not AI becomes the norm in the ad space, like kind of depends on like what the purpose of advertising is. Like you can say that like marketing, the primary purpose is to like get people to want to buy your product, right? But like I feel like on some level, it's almost like you're trying to drown out the competition. Like the point isn't
Yeah. That marketing is just like stay relevant, make sure people know your name, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like AI can do that just as well as
And that's kind
people.
of depressing because like that the implication is not that like marketing is going to get better, right? It's not going to like be more like the ads are going to make you want to buy the product. It's just going to be like more volume. It's going to be like trying to like throw so much bullshit at you that you won't be able to see anything else.
Well, I mean,
It's
that's
just
already kind of like
Yeah,
the
that's
like has
already what it
marketing
is,
gotten
right?
better? Has marketing gotten better over the past like 10 years or so? It's gotten more targeted. Has it gotten better? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's just it's essentially pollution, right? Like it's essentially pollution.
Digital pollution. We should coin that term if it's not already coined.
Probably.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's coined.
Yeah, no, it's just like I wish ads were better, right? Like I have never seen an advertisement where like I was like, oh, like that's something that like I didn't know about that like I think maybe I want to buy. It's always like I already know about this company. I already don't want their product. Like you are just like wasting my time, like just showing me this thing that I don't want. But like partially it's so I can't access a other thing that might be a competitor, right? Like it's actively making the market worse in that sense. Because maybe there is another company out there that like makes like a product I would want to buy, but like the big companies don't want you to know about that.
Yeah, they really don't. I mean, I guess that's why they keep it this way.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I mean, it's only getting easier to do this kind of stuff with AI and all the tools that keep coming out. So I guess we'll just see kind of as time goes on and the technology develops and new AI startups come out. Like some of them will be most of them will not be innovative and be like basic GPT wrappers, but then obviously like a few of them here and there will actually be something innovative and something that can change the world. And so as that develops, we'll see. Maybe one of us will get an AI tattoo like 10 years down the line, you know?
Maybe. We'll see.
What would you guys get a tattoo of if you're getting a tattoo? Let's hear everyone's answer. Like you have to get a tattoo. There's no choice. It can be as big or as small as you want it, and it can be wherever you want it, but you have to get it, and it has to be something of substance too. You can't just be like, I want a dot like between like my like
give me
like under your knees.
Nipple. Between my first two.
And AI can give you that.
Yep.
I can give you that.
Shit. I mean, I would probably tattoo like a checklist on my arm, just so like
every day.
Yeah,
every day
just like
to-do list?
just so I remember like, did I take my meds? Did I take a shower? Did I do that?
Yeah, that's innovation of the future. Just like you could put it on your skin and then remove it at the end of the day.
I mean, I wouldn't need to remove it. It would just need to like have like an exfil marker on me, so like I could check off the things that I did.
Yeah, that's actually kind of innovative, honest. And if your things every day stay the same, right? Like you put meds, exercise, what else? Like
Yeah, taking like
sleep,
I don't know, like take a shower, do this, do that.
shower, yeah, whatever. You just get all those tattoos as well. And there's just empty check boxes.
Like the ones
and
that you
just tick
repeat
them.
every single day.
Yeah, and then you just check them off every day. Like Loki, that. And then it'll just wash off in the shower the next morning. Like, not the worst idea.
Innovation.
That excite.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, HP. Noah, or not Noah, Pranay, tattoo?
I've thought about this. I don't know anything that's like small and meaningful. I've always liked mountains though. Just like symbolically. So something, I haven't found anything that would resonate, but some sort of small mountain type thing.
Okay, I like that. Where would you want it?
If it's a big mountain, on my back.
Oh, we're talking big mountains.
If it is a small mountain, then maybe just on my arm somewhere.
Arm, shoulder, yeah, okay. I rock with that.
Yeah.
All right, Cobb, let's hear it.
I don't know. I want to do small. I don't like big. So definitely something smaller. I might do like the Spider-Man symbol.
Ooh, that could be tough.
Which one?
Like, you know, the one with his face as like in like a circle, like his symbol.
That one.
Yeah, I like that. Spider-Man tattoo would be tough for sure. For me, since you guys so kindly asked which tattoo I would get.
You answered it. I need to know. I'm dying to know your answer, Jit.
Thank you, Cobb. Thank you. Finally. I'd probably want to do something a bit more like for the culture, a bit. So either like a Trishulum, which is, I mean, it's like a weapon. It's like a trident. I'd probably get it on like my forearm or something, or I'd get something like I think something around the bicep would be cool. Some text or something around my bicep. I think that circles like around it would be pretty fire. That way, when we win an Ironman, I can just flex on you guys.
Nice.
Okay.
I mean, you could do that anyways.
I can't do it anyways, but it's more fun.
Listen, the next time we record an episode, the next time we do an Ironman, PJ and I are gonna win, and we're gonna put clips of it on the next episode after that.
I did.
PJ, you gotta back me up here. I need your help, PJ.
Is that a promise, Cobb? Is that a promise?
We're gonna win, Cobb. We need. I will maintain my energy as much as I can. We need you to maintain it too, Cobb.
Yeah.
Through the end.
Clips on the next episode after we Ironman.
So after Noah and I win, Noah and I will be getting tattoos. So there will be clips of that. Actually, you know what? How about this? How about this? Whoever loses has to get tattoos. So if Noah and I win, we can you and Cobb have to get tattoos for A. And if you guys win, Noah and I will get tattoos.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Rip.
I will at the very least get a temporary tattoo.
At very least, yeah. Very
Okay,
least.
that temporary I can do.
Do we have a deal?
We have a deal.
Noah?
Yeah, sure.
Cobb?
Okay, I guess we'll see.
We have a deal. All right. So you're going to want to stay tuned to the next episode.
We're doing the same rules as what we did.
we'll discuss that later.
Okay.
We're gonna
No,
stay.
no, no,
You guys
no.
are gonna want to stay tuned to the next episode of Stating the Obvious podcast, because who knows how this is gonna play out? What kind of fuck shit rules these two are gonna create to try and nerf the shit out of me? So you gotta like the video, you know, so you get recommended Stating the Obvious more in your feed, because I mean, we may be getting tattoos. Drop a comment. Who do you want to win the Iron Man? And what tattoos should the losers get? And lastly, make sure to follow us, because like you got to. You can follow us all the way to the tattoo shop. Anyways, What Monster, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.